So, welcome to my podcast. So, how are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling absolutely great, Rahul. Pleasure to be on your show, Conversation with Rahul.
Thank you. So, how is you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely great. It's Sunday afternoon, too sunny in Bangalore.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, here, a lot of water crisis, a lot of things happening. But yeah, we are here shooting this podcast. So yeah, enjoying it.
Mhm. So, what is your profession?
Well, I mean, I wear multiple hats. Okay. Prior to the current situation, I was running my own company, right?
Mhm.
Of management consulting. Then I have an ad agency, right?
Okay.
Two, three businesses were floating parallelly. Currently, I have just taken a lot of weight off my shoulder, right? I have switched my role to a solo performer rather than a team player, right? Because I mean, I needed some liberty to travel, right? I mean, and give some space on my life. So I have switched to a new role called the Fractional Chief Operating Officer. I majorly work with the fintech companies of United States and I
Oh,
solve a lot of their problems. So yeah.
okay. Fractional CEO.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
See,
nice.
oh,
New term actually in the market for me.
well, yeah, I mean, if you see, freelancing thing was existing, right?
Huh.
But freelancing thing was kind of, I mean, people were using it for a lower level, right? Like
Okay.
content writer, you want some video to be edited, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of thing. But when I see on a broader scale the market after COVID, right, in the new normal, so what I find is there's a lot of things have changed, okay? And they are company who really want to scale, right? But if they have a what do you call full-fledged COO in the company, right?
Mm.
When it comes to capex, it increases the cost burning a lot, right? So they
Okay.
don't want to go for that. And if I see it more deeply inside, what I
Mm-hmm.
found that they actually don't need a 8-hour CEO in the company, right? Most of them need around 2 hour, 3 hour a day, right?
Mm.
That kind of thing. Okay, and their problem is sorted. So yeah, I narrowed it down. Then I interviewed a few fintechs in US, right? I
Oh.
connected with them. What are the challenges you're facing? So the CEO was like, I'm unable to scale it up. I have to see the team. I have to get work done, meet the KPIs, keep the compliance under consideration and everything, right? Then expansion has become a big challenge. So I said, okay, you guys have a lot in your plate. So let me create something which can take something out of your plate, right? So I created my own fractional CEO program, right?
So you,
Then I
or
started
you,
working for them. Yeah.
you only created this term, or like it was there before?
No, I'm not the originator, honestly, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know who created it, right? But I mean, there are very few people who are currently doing it actively, right?
Mm.
So, yeah, I think that is good, right? Because when there's less competition, there are more opportunity. And I love opportunity. And also, I mean, working with new kind of companies, right? So, I mean, these are the some things which, what do you call, I really wanted to do. So, yeah, new challenges. I mean, I love it, honestly. Yeah.
So before this fractional CEO, what were you doing?
Well, it's a long story, right? So pre-COVID, right? I
Yeah.
mean, pre-COVID, I was running my own management consulting firm from Delhi.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we were kind of connecting with companies. I mean, finding all their challenges, especially the cost-cutting one, right?
Mm.
Then kind of the what do you call vendor onboarding entire program, right? How to make it faster, efficient, right?
Mm.
And how to kind of cut the cost there also, right? Then I mean some sort of mergers, okay, where needed, some joint
You done
ventures.
mergers also.
Yes, yes, mergers, joint ventures, right? These are things we were doing. We didn't did any much big acquisition. And one
Okay.
thing that I regret that one time I got an opportunity to do consulting in an IPO
Oh,
and we didn't
nice.
do it. So I mean that is something still in my checklist, right? Bucket list
Okay.
that I really want to do. I mean I want to consult some company, right? And I want to get the IPO done because I want to be a part of the journey also. So that is something which is still missing. So, yeah.
Okay. Lot of things.
Yeah, Rahul, honestly. Life is about going on. So yeah.
No, but many people like do one kind of particular job or one kind of track and they will go on like that. But your is like, do you're doing this, that, other stuff. How is like you didn't feel like you will go for a one thing I will be settled in that or like how it is.
See, I mean, depend on the ideology of the person, right? I mean, someone wants to settle, right? Someone want to explore. Honestly, I mean, the day I didn't start getting that kick, okay?
Hmm.
So for doing something, I mean,
Hmm.
I honestly am a person who is not going to do something, right? If
Okay.
you're putting me in place, you're paying me for that. but I'm not loving it, so I won't be a part of that journey for a long time, right?
Okay.
I'll be there, I will understand, I'll leave, right? And I am a very blunt person. If I have to leave, I'll say I'm not enjoying it, I'm leaving, right?
Oh, is it so?
Yeah. So it's like that, right? So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's not a transition, it's a new journey, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, working for new companies, so there are new challenges. There are things which I'm also learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the technology is evolving, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then for the cost cutting, every company has a different challenge
Mm-hmm.
altogether, right? So understanding that challenge, then I mean, you need to find two things, right? First thing is something which is efficient enough to solve that problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, if you work with post seed and series A companies, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there are a lot of factors where you need to consider the costing also, right?
Okay.
And then third thing is which people don't consider the costing and efficiency, the training time, okay.
Mm.
If there are team members, okay, they're in the company and the training time is huge, right? Suppose you
Yes.
need 1 month, 2 month, 3 month in training the resources, right?
Mm.
So that is a utter waste of time for the company, right? Because
Yeah.
it increases the costing. So what you need to consider all these parameters, right?
Mm.
Then you need to also understand, I mean, the interface level, right? How
Mm.
easy it is to
Mm.
use, right?
Mm.
So I mean all those kind of things, because see, I mean your team members, I mean no one is permanent, okay, in any company, right?
Yeah.
So people will come, people will go. So suppose someone has left a space and you need to fit someone into their place, right?
Mm.
So then you need to spend the same amount of time in training them,
Yeah.
right, making
Yeah.
them understand. But if it is very generic kind of interfaces, right, and
Mm.
other things, so I mean it becomes easy for that person also to use it, right?
Mm.
And I mean it just increases the efficiency overall, right?
Okay.
So yeah, and team will focus more on productivity than on learning side.
Learning
So yeah,
skills. Yeah.
so because every CEO that I work with these days, I
Mm.
mean they only want output, right? And so are the investors, because there are a lot of KPIs on paper, right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
need to hit all those. So yeah, plus compliances, because I majorly work with fintechs,
Yeah.
so
Mm.
there are a lot of compliances in place. So I mean you can't cross that up. So yeah.
How you thought of like becoming a CEO or fractional CEO? If I see a younger generation,
Hmm.
they'll be saying like, "I have done this right now. Let's get to the job or let's start a startup and all." But rather than a fractional CEO or running a someone's company and giving them the things, how is that came from?
Well, see, I was also running my company, right?
Mm.
So I literally, I mean, there was a lot on my head, right?
Mm.
There were some issues in the family also, right? So I mean, there's a word called work life balance, okay?
Okay.
So that was completely missing, okay?
Mm.
Number two is that I was doing those things, but I mean, I started not loving that, okay, the way I used to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was bringing money for me, right? It's not that I was not getting money out of it,
Uh,
right? But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just take the call, right? Okay, I'm done with all this, something new needs to be done, right? And I'm not an idea guy, right? I'm
mm.
more sort of an execution guy, right?
Okay.
So I mean, I haven't come across any idea, okay, or any
Oh.
new person, I mean, which is exciting enough that I should open a new venture again, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If that comes in, obviously there's room for transition. But
Okay.
right now I've fixed myself up to these things because I'm learning a lot of things. I'm making honestly a lot of new connections, okay.
Okay.
Then I mean, interacting with people, facing a lot of new challenges, okay.
Mm.
Then yeah, competing with the market, a different market, right? It's the US market, okay. So there are a lot of things that needed to be consideration, right? In India, I mean, if you see liabilities and regulations, right,
Mm.
they're not that much when it compares to those countries, right? So I think those things are needed to be taken into the consideration, right? Then
Okay.
you need to plan every strategy, okay. Then obviously the fund has a limit, okay. It's not
Mm.
that you have unlimited source of funds, right, for
Mm.
anything. So I
Yeah.
mean, before using doing anything or implementing any strategy, right,
Mm.
or anything at all, right, you need to
Mm.
think twice, okay. You need to go deep, understand, right.
Yeah.
I mean, is it needed to be done, right?
Mm.
Is it really needed to be done, right?
Okay.
Can we not survive without this, right? So all these questions needed to be done, answered, right? Then all the
Mm.
how questions, right? The
Mm.
5W, right? We need to take care of those, right?
Okay.
We need to
What
answer
are
all
that
those.
five W's? Like what
I mean,
from
simply,
yours?
man, what, where, when, how, right? All these. But you need to put it into the place, right? What is the
Okay.
situation demanding? Okay.
Mm.
And how big is the problem? Okay.
Mm.
Then is it, I mean, what is the priority of the problem, right? It
Mm.
is very urgent, right?
Mm.
That's needed to be fixed. Suppose there is some compliance red flag.
Mm.
Okay. So if there is compliance red flag, I mean, this, it's like you need to sort it out, right? Because you will have pressure from the legal team, You will have
Okay.
pressure from the compliance team, right?
Okay.
As well as the people who are investing in you, along with your users, right? So there are a lot of things to be taken care of. So I mean, you have to answer all those things, right? Find the best solution, right? Suppose for IDV, individual identity verification, right? Or in India you call it KYC. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, in any fintech that is a there in the place, right?
Mm.
But I mean, you want to see which other platform you can use, okay?
Okay.
Which are enough to take care of your compliances, right?
Mm.
Because I mean, suppose some fake user comes in, right? They use your platform for money laundering, okay,
Yeah.
or forging. I mean, it's a big red flag for you, right? So I mean, these are the challenges which I mean, from outside you won't understand these kind of challenges are also there, right? But you once you get inside it, right, the more deeper you go, the deeper you understand. Okay, all right. So these are the problems that people are facing. We need to solve it up. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. I'm getting it. But again, I want to like see this. Like if right now I want to become a fractional CEO.
Okay.
So what things to be done? Like if a normal person and say coming and saying like let's become a fractional CEO,
Mm-hmm.
he can become a CEO.
Right.
But fractional CEO is a different thing.
Correct.
So like what?
I mean, see, I mean, first thing is that, yeah, you should have a leadership quality. Okay, no
Hmm.
doubt in that. But you should be a good team player. Okay.
That is in the CEO also.
Right.
But what will be
No, but
different?
CEO has to lead a lot of time, right? He need to be ruthless a lot of time, right? He can't take everyone together every time, right? Because as Steve Jobs once said, right? If you want to make everyone happy, go and fucking sell ice cream, right? So I mean, so he has to be ruthless, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the time demands, right? You have to be ruthless sometime, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, but as a chief operating officer, obviously, I mean, their skill set, you can't do it on day one, right? You are a fresher, you can't be that, right?
Mm.
You have to have experience, right?
Mm.
So I have done what? I've run my multiple ventures, so I have those experiences, right? I mean, experience as in if you run your venture, you have experience in everything, right? From recruiting to training to providing the resources, right? Putting the KPIs, defining their SOPs, right? Then putting the manager in place that things are to be taken care of, right? Or everything has to be monitored, the reporting structure, each and everything, right? Then you need to put ethics thing that okay, these are things which is ethical for you, these are things which you can't do, right?
Mm.
So all these things in place. Then I mean, for marketing division or sales division or your operation division, your compliance division, right? Your
You've
finance
done all of
division, right?
this?
So you have to take care of all of these when you are running your own show,
Okay.
right? So I
When you
mean,
when you have started your own venture for first time?
I think I was in my engineering college, right?
Okay.
So the first one was what do you call a incubation program, right? So where we were nurturing talents, right? We were doing workshops, right? So it was more sort of personality development, right?
Okay.
With a combination of the accelerator and incubation program that you see today of startups, right?
Okay.
So it was a combination of those, right? So I started in my college only. So the first client was my college, right?
Okay.
So I
How
mean,
come? Like college become a client?
yeah.
How is that possible?
I think I'm blessed to have some good teachers, right, in the
Okay.
college. I mean, those days, I mean, honestly, coming from a small town, right,
Mm.
going to engineering, I mean, a lot of things I haven't seen before that, right, in my life.
Okay.
So, I mean, then the circle that you get into, right, in
Mm.
college, you will get every kind of circle, right,
Okay.
right, and by every kind, you understand what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
okay. So, I mean, it depends on the circle you're in,
yeah.
right, and then I think I don't consider a college big or small, right. A college is a college, right. They are teachers. If you'll go to them for a problem,
Mm.
I mean, they are there to solve you, right?
Okay.
And I mean, every teacher, because my mom is also a lecturer, right? So,
Okay.
I mean, every teacher always thinks betterment for the student, okay? It's like
Okay.
sometimes you think what he's trying to get me done, right?
Mm.
Someone will challenge you, right? Rahul, I can give you in writing, you won't be able to do this ever in your life, right?
Yeah.
Then you take it on a ego, but that ego is the right ego, right?
Mm.
Okay. You do it and to just prove him wrong that you were wrong,
Yeah.
right? But when you win, right, it's not you who win, it's the teacher who won, right? Because he
Yeah.
placed that in your mind, right?
Mm.
So I mean, in the college, I had some good teachers, right? So they guided me. So we registered a society there, right? Opened the
Okay.
student chapter in two colleges inside our university. There were two
Mm.
colleges. So both of them became our client. Then I'm blessed to have the support of the owner of the college, right?
Okay.
I mean, they literally helped us a lot, right? There are a lot of skill set that we acquired that time, okay, right? Because I mean, we were sitting with them, right? and those were, I mean, they kind of give us the idea how to project your business up,
Okay.
right? So it's starting it up. I mean, people, 90% of people won't be even able to start it up, right? But I mean, the other people who are starting it up, right? I mean, starting it up is a different challenge, right? Once you start it up, okay, I mean, people will support you to start it, right? Now you have to be consistent to reach the next level, right?
Yeah.
But what happens? I mean, after you attain something, right? Suppose you want to have 2000 students under you, right? 100 workshops conducted, right? And a lot of other things happening, okay? Then what? What next? Okay, right?
Yeah.
So the scalability thought came from them, right?
Okay.
Because this was the question they asked me. Okay, you are taking, you have a vision to take it up to this level. Okay, all right, we are going to support it, right? What about after that? Right? So those are the projection, right? How to project your business, right? Where you want to really see it in 5 years. Okay. So I mean, just peaking enough. I mean, where you see yourself in 5 years, you can say that. But once you are inside the business, okay, you have to see, okay, right? These are the challenges. These are situation, right?
Yeah.
Cash flow is coming, but there's burn also, right? So you need to take care of cash flow challenges, right?
Yeah.
Then I mean, there will be people. Suppose you're conducting workshop and other things, right? So there will be people who will be saying no at 11th hour, right? They need to have a backup plan, right? The contingency plan in action, right?
Yeah.
Then I mean, there will be students, right? Every student won't be sweet, right? There will be student like us also, right? Who are the bad students of this college, right? Who won't listen to you, right? So
Yeah.
those are the kind of energy you need to utilize and channelize in a direction that it comes to in your support, not against you, right?
Okay.
So I think people management was something that I learned there, right?
Okay.
How to manage people, right? How to channelize, because I was learning from my college owners, right?
Yeah.
They were actually running the big organization, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, it was a good skill set that I acquired from them, right? So honestly, if I meet with people, one thing I understood from them: you can't be arrogant, right? You have to behave like the person's best friend, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So I think that is something which helps in every journey, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm working with companies also, right? So it's not like yes sir, okay sir, right? If there's something which is not right, right, I speak it up bluntly in front of them, right? I put honesty there, right? That these are things which you are doing wrong, this is needed to be improved, right? Or suppose someone has some skill set which is a drawback, right? Suppose you can't abuse someone, right? Or you can't just fire someone, right? You have to take care of the compliances and everything, right? So I mean, those are things, you're blunt, you're good with people. So I think that is the first skill set of anything, right? You do fractional CEO or anything, you have to be good with people, okay? Then I think second part of your question is you should have the knowledge, okay? If not, if you don't have the real time experience, right, there are a lot of places that you will lack, right?
Okay.
You won't be able efficient enough, right? Like I mean, these days web3 is coming, right? So I'm consulting few DeFi companies also, right?
Okay.
So I mean, there are a lot of things which are very new, okay? Even to me, although I'm working in the tech friendly thing, you will ask me any problem, I'll give you, okay, this is a supporting tool we should use, right? With all my parameters. But I mean, once you go into depth, right, you think, oh wow, this is very new, right? Like the AI thing, right? AI is
Yeah.
coming in, right? AI is shaping you up. But still, I mean, people don't know how to 100% utilize the power of AI. Okay.
I will say like not 100%, not 40%, 30 or 40% things are also not known. If right now, if someone is there, they will Google it up rather than going to AI. AI will do a better job, but they will Google it up again. They'll not go to ask the AI. Chat GPT also, many people are going, but not like Google and all.
Right.
Like that sense. So many people are there, but not for 30 to 40% also not going
Correct, correct. That is true. So I mean, but this should be a role of the organization to provide the employees, right?
there. Yeah.
You can't consider that each one of you will be a superstar, right?
Yeah.
Each of your team member, right? You need to, I mean, it should be your responsibility to make them superstar, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for example, if you watch cricket, right?
Yeah.
Captain MS Dhoni, right? He has accomplished a
Fabulous.
lot of things, right? But if you see, I mean, every member in his team was not of that superstar level, right?
Yeah.
But the performance that he took out of them, right, was of a superstar level, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you need to train that up. You need to be prepared for every situation, right? I mean, and then you need to go. So I think experience matters, right? If you have the experience, that is a thing. I mean, all these things you need to educate your team, right? If not, then you, because see, if you are smart enough than them, right? If they are smart enough than you, then learn from them. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't think that you're the superstar, right? If they are smarter than you, learn from them, right? But I mean, this culture should be there in the organization, right? Where you are investing into them to adopt and grow themselves also, right? Otherwise, I mean, you will think that they have become deadbeat, but actually you are responsible for that,
Yeah.
right? And just paying salary these days doesn't make any sense. You need to educate them, right?
Educate them.
And I mean, give them that
Means
cake. Yeah,
you
they are
have to
learning.
make them into the right path also. Show them sometimes a right path also, right?
100%, 100%. That is true. I mean, then comes the real part, right? Is getting work done from them, right? So honestly, I mean, while running my company, one thing that I concluded, right? I mean, me and my partner both were there, right? So sometimes, a lot of time, right? I was the bad cop in the company, right? He was the good cop. But I mean, when so some work has to be get done, right, on urgent basis or SOS, some emergencies has come. I mean, you can't be a bad cop and get work done, right? You have to
Okay.
be a good cop, okay? क्योंकि कहते हैं ना काम तो भाई प्यार से ही करवाना पड़ता है राइट ओके तो आप किसी को डंडा करके काम नहीं करवा सकते ऑनेस्टली
Okay.
स्पीकिंग राइट
Okay.
so I think working with a lot of other people right across the globe right now I've realized I mean if you have that thing right and they should
Means
feel more
sweet talk.
not sweet talk right I mean not that sweetness also right be
Okay.
normal as a friend right I mean at least that they should be open right
Okay.
I mean it's they have messed up right you
Mhm.
should be the first person to be called by them that sir I have messed up right so
Mhm.
that you can prepare some
Means
backup plan.
you want to say as a CEO, fractional CEO or CEO,
Hmm.
like you have to be blunt sometimes, and you have to be friendly with them also. Like if something they messed up, they should call you first, rather
100%.
than they call to others. Like
See,
I have done with this, but take care of with me with the CEO like that.
correct. See, I mean, suppose someone has messed up, okay?
Mm.
Suppose some technology, someone has pushed a very wrong code, right?
Mm.
It is going to backfire, right?
Mm.
I mean, you should be the first person called, right?
Mm.
Because I mean, you are running the organization, so you know in and out, right? If this
Yeah.
thing has happened, maybe how you can take care of that, right? Okay. So and suppose you are very blunt, right?
Mm.
And every time you're the bad cop of the team, right? So they won't even dare to call you,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So what will happen when everything is messed, right? Then the information will come to you. Then you will be firing them, and once you will open your email to write the firing termination email, you'll find the resignation letter on your email, right? But I mean that way, what will happen? You will lose your team. Plus, I mean some mess up has happened, right? You can't scale it up now. So I mean those things. So you have to be connected with them, right? If something that culture you have to develop, right? People have to trust you, right? Okay, if something is happening, sir is my backup, right? You should be the back sometime, right?
Okay.
It's not just pushing every time, right? I mean you need to push them, right? Push them to the limit they can achieve, right? But I think more or less you have to be friendly with them, right? To get work done. I mean that's how it will be. Otherwise you have seen I mean working in corporate, right? People know how to I mean put themselves on call and all those tricks right so, yeah that's the thing.
Okay, I get it. But the reality of corporate is totally different. The politics, I don't know. I don't like the politics of the corporate.
See, I mean depends. I mean right now I'm working with post seed series A companies, okay, right, not above that, right? So I think that team size is the two pizza rule that is working, right? If other things are there, then most of the companies I mean they're outsourcing it, right?
Okay.
So I mean when it's outsourced I mean you are not just hiring an individual, you are hiring an entrepreneur and its entire team, right? So I mean there is a set of understanding, right? So if you'll talk to him, bro, I need this things to be done, right? This is something which is going to mess my KPIs, okay? My investor is not going to release the next level of funds to me, right?
Okay.
So I mean you need to get things done, right? So everyone understand, right? But I mean if you'll just directly write a big email, right? I want all these things done. You should write emails, I mean, so that things are in record, right? But I mean be politically correct.
Okay.
Right? Don't be harsh always, right? So I think that is something which works.
So right now, as a fractional CEO, like it works in India, Indian culture, Indian culture of your companies and all. Will that work, or like it will take time to come up in India, or how it will be?
That's a good question, right? So honestly, the companies I am working with are based out of US only right now. Okay. And in India, I think people don't understand this, right? I mean, suppose why will I need a COO, right, as a fractional to get work done, right? I am paying, so I am already getting it done, right? So they think that, right? So I mean, that is a thought process which is not allowing them to get things done, right? But what it will bring, I mean, suppose 3-4 hours of my time, okay, right? It is going to take 70%, 60-70% of their workload from their plate to my plate, right? I'm fixing it up with my experience and efficiency, right? You are
Mm.
getting quality, everything.
Mm.
Plus, you have the spare time to scale your business, okay?
Yeah.
Think about the projection, not just the daily challenge that is coming in, right? The projection moving forward,
Yeah.
right? That is something you're missing, right?
Mm.
So people will be able to focus there. So I think, yeah, today there's a less market, okay, for fractional chief operating officer, honestly. But I think in coming days, I'm pretty sure India will be a hot cake for that, because I mean, right now, if you see the top-notch companies of the US are run by Indian minds, okay, right?
That I'm very glad to
So
know.
in Europe, Indian minds, right? So all those Indian minds are there, right? So I think gradually it will be coming, right, in India also, right? And I think it's a big market, it's a big upcoming market, right, where people are hired for the fractional role, okay, not the full-time role, right, to get things done, okay. I mean, what it gives me, right, honestly, I make money out of that. That is the first thing, right? Second thing is that it gives me liberty to travel anywhere. Okay. I can work from anywhere. I just need my laptop. Okay. Right. And I mean, gives you learn new things, right? Along with that, you have the choices. Okay. Right. Suppose you are not loving it, you can switch it up. Right.
Okay.
So it's like that. And
But
then,
if the company owners or the board members get to know that, like fractional CEO can change anytime,
Mhm.
then they why they will hire you?
No, so there are contracts there are clauses in the contract. Okay, right? Obviously, no one will just put you. You come today, you know everything. You leave tomorrow, right? So they will put you that up to this time we need you, right? Obviously, they won't put it that we are taking you for 2 years. Then it becomes a full time role for them, right?
Yeah.
So they also put it in fractionals of time. Okay, for this duration, we need you, right?
Okay.
So I mean, that's how you go there. I mean, see, if you see army, right? Army is in war, right? So your father is from defense, right? That's why I'm
Yes.
putting this example. Okay. So there's a in an army, right? There's a leader, right? The commander, the C commanding officer, right? He has the what do you call whole duty to win the war. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Then there are battalions who are given the task to fight the soldiers, right? Then there are soldiers, okay, who are given individual task. Okay. You go there, right? Suppose you disrupt their logistical supply, right? Blow this bridge, okay, right? So that has been given, right? You go there, you blow the bridge, right? Your job is done, right? Yes. Okay. The leader is not taking care of that, right? The leader's focus is winning the war, okay. But the small roles, these are taken by the soldiers, right? So right now I'm acting like a soldier for them, right? These are challenges they have. The leadership knows they need to win the war, right? For this particular role, they need a soldier. So I step in, right? I take care of that. Once it is done, I'm back to my base. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, like that.
Yeah.